This is Lynn Jacob, founder of MLJ International, creator of the 7 Simple Strategies for Success, and author of the book, I Know You Know, But You Don't Understand, and talk about a fun book to write. So if you haven't gotten a copy of it yet, then go to my website at mljinternational.com. What I want to talk to you about today is change, adapt, and grow. This is something that I learned from one of my mentors a number of years ago, and it applies not only to business, but of course to our lives as well. I want to give you a little bit of information on how you can adapt more easily to the changes that are happening so that you can continue to grow yourself, to grow your employment position, and to grow into that growth of employment position, to grow your business, of course. Change, adapt, and grow. Yesterday, I called one of my clients. It's been a few years since we've worked together, though we have stayed in touch because I like to stay in touch with my clients. I asked him how business was because I know what I hear from a lot of people in his city, how they claim business to be, and he said he's growing. Since he moved into his new place, he's growing even faster than he was growing before. Fantastic! So I said, geez, does that mean that, the economy has changed dramatically in your city? No, not at all. So what he explained to me had me chuckling. And I said, yeah, it's like we've talked about so many times before, right? Change, adapt to the change, and grow. So let's back that up to change. When we're talking about change, typically in a business, the change is outside of your control. The change is the economy maybe, or one of the biggest challenges today is the quality of employees. This younger generation, up to the age of 40, they don't have the same work ethic that many of us are looking for in businesses, and many of us at my age did, the ethic that we had when we were employees, and it's very different. Not to say that it's bad, but it's different. And so we have to adapt to that change in the workforce mentality so that we can continue to grow our businesses. But what we're talking about here with Yves is that when he moved his business into a much bigger space, I think he said it's about triple now. When he moved into that bigger space, then it allowed his business to grow. Okay, that change he was in control of, so that was easy to adapt to that. But what he's done to grow his business is he's taken it outside of his community. Because in his community, like I hear from so many people, the economy is struggling. It's still struggling. What he's done is he's gone out of province. He's gone to the north of his province, and he's gone to other provinces, and one of the provinces he's gone to is quite a distance away. So the change that happens outside of us, like the economy in his area, we typically resist that change, and that causes our businesses to shrink, not to grow. And if your business is shrinking, ouch! And the change is outside of him. He adapted to the change. He stopped complaining, if he even was, but actually I know he was. He stopped complaining about the fact that there wasn't enough work in his city, in his surrounding area. And he went outside, he went outside of his province. So he adapted to the change that happened to him. And grow. He's growing phenomenally now. He's been in his new space just for a few months, and he was giggling with excitement on how quickly his business is growing. So that's what can happen when we adapt to the change that's outside of us. Now, on the other hand, we have somebody in another part of the country, but it's a really tough economy. It's starting to pick up now, but it's been a really tough economy for at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And so they struggled throughout that time. And they've laid off so many of their employees that now the husband's out in the field. He's on the tools again, full time, because he's laid so many people off. Sometimes that does have to happen. Sometimes that's a part of adapting. However, you know, as the person in the office, the wife, she's telling me, no, it can't be any different. It can't be. We just have to do this. The problem there is they're not adapting to the change with the mindset of, okay, this is what we're going to do, and then we're going to come right back up. Okay. Change in the economy happened to them, and they're just shrinking. They don't have a strategy for, okay, we're going to, you know, lay off this many people, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to restructure. And no, they're surviving, she said. They're just doing everything they have to do to survive. What if, just what if, there's an opportunity or two that you're not seeing because you're in the thick of it, and therefore you can't see a way out of the woods? So I talked to him about this diagnostic assessment as a one-time, you know, conversation with me, and he said, well, what have I got to lose? But what if there's another way? What if there's an opportunity or another option that you're not seeing? Will he continue to adapt to the change that has happened outside of him? Because once he adapts himself, his mindset, the way he does things, the way things are done around there in his company, once he adapts those to match the change that has happened, then he will continue to grow his business. But if he doesn't, that's barely surviving. It's not thriving, and that's what we're supposed to be doing in our businesses. So he's not been adapting, and what's he doing is dying. His business is dying. And yes, you can just, you know, throw it all away. You can just close the doors, carry on, do something else. Okay, that's an option too. Isn't it better to sell your business though? So that's what I can help you do, is I can help you adapt to the changes that are coming at you from the outside so that you can continue to grow. So you're always going to be having challenges in your business, but they're great challenges because it's growth, and sometimes feels like growing pains. That's okay. But you need to keep growing your business, and you're never going to do that if you resist change. So embrace the change, adapt to the change, and do those things that make you feel uncomfortable, and continue to grow your business.